back, and thank you so much for sticking with us. And joining us for our third conversation are the folks from the Belize Tourism Board, and it's all about renewing the standard of Belizean hospitality. Joining us on the couch, we have Geneva Joseph, and she is the compliance controller over at BTB. Good morning.
Good morning.
And of course, no stranger to the show, Mr. Jacob Leslie, in a different capacity as the registrar of hotels over at BTB. Good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Morning, thanks for having us.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having us.
All right, so we're talking more about your BTB accommodation renewal clinic. Let's get started with what that is and how our persons within the hotel and hospitality services can get be a part of this.
Okay.
Well, one of the complaints I gathered when I became the registrar of hotels maybe a little over a year ago was the inconsistency in the time frame in renewing your hotel license, right? And obviously this has some major implication on hoteliers because they have major investments and these things hinder their ability to generate revenues. And so we started dialoguing and trying to see how we can put processes in place to give fixed timelines for these things so that people can say, if I apply by this time, I can receive it by this time. And what we're attempting to do for the first time at BTB is to do clinics, and we go to these jurisdictions, excuse me, and we are there in person. We have all the relevant personnel there, and we tell you bring the relevant documents, whether on a flash drive, or if you have physical documents, we'll scan them and upload them to our portal. And we're preparing to issue license same day. Right, so we have the vetting officers there, we have the tax officers there, we have the finance department there. Myself will be there to sign off the licenses. And so we're trying to fix the complaints that we found in the industry. And again, it's the first time we've attempting to do this. And so we're hopeful that people come out. And again, we launched our portal maybe early this year or late last year. And so there might be people who are not comfortable with it. And so we're telling them to come out, let us walk through it together. And so that we can have the kind of turnout that we want and the success that we want from this initiative.
Do you find that this particular approach has generated interest among stakeholders in the hotel and tourism sector?
Yeah, I think they are excited for it. I think it shows them that there are changes that are being made that are benefiting the complaints that they've had, right? So I think it has been received well, and we're hoping that we can execute it well as well, right?
When do you all plan to host your first set of clinics?
So we are going to commence the clinics May 15th.
Not May, August.
August.
Like, oh, that's done.
We're going to commence the clinic August 15th. We're going to start in Orange Walk, and then we move on to Keycocker and San Pedro, and then we're going to go to Hopkins and Placencia, and then we move on to Belize City. We have Cayo, Toledo, Corozal, as well as Belmopan. So we're trying to hit all the major destinations so that the stakeholder will have an opportunity to come to one of the clinics near them if it's not specifically in their destination, so that they would be able to renew their license before it expires.
What sort of documentation or requirements do they need to bring in order for their license to be approved?
So this is a renewal. Majority of them have already submitted all the documents that they need to receive a license from the BTB and operate within the industry. So what we are asking them to do when it's renewal is for them to provide us with updated copies of these documents, because some of them already expired. So they would need to bring updated copies of their business registry certificates, as well as updated approval documents. We have the fire department, the public health department, the central building authority, and it depends if their building authority approval has expired or not. That is valid for 4 years. And then of course we ask them for updated IDs for managers and owners, because again, some of those IDs might have already expired.
What is the end game here? Is it to make this as easy and accessible a process for those who are already invested in the hotel and the services sector?
Yeah, it definitely is, and as well, we want to ensure that October 31st, when these licenses are expired, that they already have the new ones.
Yeah.
Right, so you want to have any gaps where people are operating illegally without a license, and many times they say the process is too tedious, they say the process is confusing, and so this process to ensure we take away those barriers that the stakeholders may face, and we are there, we are in a jurisdiction, we are here to help, we are here to walk you through the process, and again, you can walk away in August with a new license that is for the next 2 years, right? So we've opened the renewal season now so that we have August and September and October to get all of these applications in, renewed, and the stakeholders can operate legal within the environment.
What do you find that, notwithstanding everything that you guys are doing to make this a seamless transition from one to the other, that some businesses would wait until the last minute to try to get this out?
And again, we want to warn and advise that it is illegal to operate a accommodation without a license, right? So if you choose to wait until the last minute and then you're found not having all the relevant documents required, and then October 31st hits you, well, when BTB issues you a fine, you can't say, oh, it's unfair, right? Because from August, we've been at it, and we've actually, since March, had our team send out emails to all these stakeholders advising them what they need to bring specifically, because some people documents might be valid, some might be invalid, so they would know, all right, your CBA, which is for 4 years, is expiring this year, so you need to get a new one from now. You might not need a CBA, you only need these 3 documents. So these people, we have been communicating with them since March. And so we're hopeful that they have been receiving these emails, and if they haven't, obviously we are telling them that let them contact the BTB so we can advise them specifically prior to the date. But we're giving them enough time, right? So even if they come to the clinics and they're missing 1 or 2 documents, well, they still have until October to submit these things through the portal, and then we can fix it at that point and then issue the license before.
And the online portal really is to have this, you know, paperless way of transitioning, making sure that they get their license renewed quick, fast, and so forth. But you still have persons, like you said, are not that tech savvy. They're not too familiar with the portal. So will you also be assisting them and guiding them in how to, for next time and for future reference?
Yes. So for all the clinics, we will have compliance officers present, and they're going to be assisting stakeholders with showing them how to use the portal and uploading their documents for this renewal. And if it's where they are comfortable with when their next renewal comes on board and they would like to do it at home, then they will be more than happy to do that. But as well, depending on the outcome of this clinic, we plan to make it an annual thing where we would go out and help them, because we do have most of our stakeholders that would prefer that one-on-one with the BTB when they're there. If they have any questions or if they have any concerns, then we would be able to address it there as it relates to their renewals and their documentations.
Since these
another thing that's very important with the portal and why we're enforcing that it has to be done through the portal is because it gives us accountability, right? Too many times stakeholders would be sending their application, but maybe sending it to a direct licensing officer, and it just sits there, and then there's nobody else who was aware that it's even there. And so it gives us an ability to track it. So when it comes in, me and Geneva can see it, we can assign it to our licensing officer, and we can say, all right, that's been on their desk for 2 days, why hasn't it moved? So there's an accountability there where we can guarantee a delivery service, a delivery time within the service, right? When it's sent to Geneva's desk alone, and only she knows, and then I get a call and said, well, I've sent an application a month ago and no response. Well, we didn't get it through our official email, where is it? And then you have to track it and find it, and then, you know, so just to make sure that we're offering a service and that stakeholders understand, when you use the portal, it puts the onus on us. Like, we now have the structure in place that we can identify these applications, we can track our delivery time, and then we can put things in place to make it more efficient as well.
So for the renewal clinic, since you're having them countrywide, your first stop is Orange Walk.
Orange Walk, yes.
When, where, what time?
So we're going to be at the Maracas Conference Room in Orange Walk. It starts at 10 a.m. and it finishes at 5 p.m. So we're going to be there for the entire day. And for us to be able to facilitate and get these licensing done within 1 day, it takes a team of us. So we are urging everyone to take advantage of the opportunity and come out, because as Mr. Jacob says, that it is a process, and it would go from the compliance officer who does the vetting, but then they need to verify that they have met their compliance percentage for the minimum standards as it relates to the standards of their accommodation. So that would then go to someone else who would be present. Then it goes to make sure that their taxes are up to date. Then we would do the final sign off and we would issue them the license. So it would be best for them to take advantage of the clinic so that they can get all of that done in 1 day. Give or take, it takes about 2 weeks if you go through the regular process.
And what date?
we're going to begin August 15th.
August 15th. And for the future clinics, where can they find more information about it?
So on our BTB Facebook, we have the clinic schedule. We have contacted all the stakeholders who require a renewal this cycle. They have received the different clinic dates, and then they could always contact us at hotels at BelizeTourismBoard.org if they would need any more information.
Okay. Final words as we wrap up our conversation this morning?
Well, again, I want to echo what Ms. Joseph said. I think it's very important for stakeholders to take advantage of it. I want to remind them again, as I said earlier, we're doing all of this to ensure that everybody is compliant, right? And we want to make sure that everybody is operating legally within the space. And I think the process is a very simple one. And I know, again, that there are a lot of stakeholders, because of their uncomfortability with the program, they are paying people to do this service for them, and we want to show them how easy it is for them to do, that they can do it themselves. And again, if they in the future don't want to do it, we will always be there every year to do it. It saves them money, because I think there's a lot of people within the industry taking advantage of our stakeholders, because they make it seem like it's just a tedious process. And so we invite them to come out, we'll walk them through this process, and again, make it as easy as possible for them to be compliant and to be in good standing with the BTB and to operate legally within our environment, right?
Beautiful. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and best of luck with the clinics. The first one begins August 15th,
Yes.
10 a.m. at the Maracas Conference Room
In
over
Orange
in
Walk.
Orange Walk. Thank you all so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we'll take another short break, and we'll be back with more Open Your Eyes.